Let's start this segment by taking a closer look at the ways we deal with stress. We all have stress in our lives. Stress is unavoidable. However, just like the willow tree that was born to bend, we have many protective factors that actually counteract stress and help us bounce back and recover. The stronger our protective factors, the less likely we are to get knocked down, and the more likely we are to bounce back and even grow stronger when we do get knocked down. So what are these protective factors that you have? Some are biological. You sleep, you eat healthfully, you get some exercise. Some are psychological, like your sense of humor, your self-esteem, your coping abilities, your to-do list, your stop-doing list. Others are social, like the social support system you have in your life. All these protective factors help you bounce back and recover. But sometimes, and it happens to all of us, the stressful situation is too much for our protective factors, and we get pushed down and disrupted, and we feel kind of chaotic. What I want you to realize is that people typically respond to the disruption in one of four ways. Some people just give up. They succumb to the stressor and give up. Or they rise back up and feel better, but they're not their old selves. So they're just putting up with the stressful situation. In other words, I've got all this stress in my life that's pushed me down to a lower level of functioning, and I fight back, but I don't get back to where I was. I'm just putting up with the stressful situation. Now, some people bounce all the way back up and fully recover to their previous level of functioning. We call that resilience. Other people step up to the plate and are able to grow to a higher level of functioning than before the stressful situation occurred. We call that thriving. Let's go through an example of these four ways that people respond. Let's suppose that in a merger, some people get laid off. It's more than our protective factors are prepared for, so now we're disrupted. The first response is somebody who gives up. What would that look like? Maybe they stay at home. They're devastated. They're depressed. They never go out and look for another job. They give up. The second response is a person who puts up. This person is initially devastated, but then they try to bounce back. So they go out and look for another job. They finally get another job, but they don't really give 100% effort because they think nobody really cares about them and they could get laid off from this job too. So their self-esteem remains diminished and they put up with a job they don't really like because they feel like they can't do anything about it. The third response is bounce up. Suppose you have an individual who's devastated initially by the layoff, but then goes out and looks for another job and finds one just as fulfilling as their previous job. In other words, they've bounced back up to their previous level of functioning. The final response is step up. This is a person who was initially devastated after the layoff, but then to improve their situation, they go out and take a couple of classes, improve their current skills, and develop new skills. While they're developing new skills, they go take this other job just to put food on the table and bring some income into their family. Eventually, they get a new job using the skills they've trained themselves for, and now they've grown to a higher level and they're happier. That's step up. Those are the four responses. Now, the responses we're going for in this course are bounce up and step up. We're going for a stronger and stronger foundation of resilience, which is bounce up, and more moments of thriving in your life, which is step up.